Hello, welcome to Needing a Meeting. My name is Carol. I'll be your host today. Hello, Monique. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Henny. Thank you guys for joining me here in the chat. And yeah. Ooh, it's another cold day here in Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas. So far, I don't have anybody joining that I can see or know of. So, yeah, we'll just wait and see who shows up, huh? Yes, another cold day though. And it's cold back in the studio. So I've got covers and I've got shawls and my hat and all that good stuff. Okay. All right, Crystal. I'll see you in a minute. Finish your snack. That's always a good thing to do. Never good to come into a situation hungry. uh, hey, Tara. How are you doing?
Um, I'm needing to mute you on the other channel so that there's no echo. I think, having what's called an emotional hangover right
Oh,
now. I'm
okay.
kind of I was super up yesterday, super psyched to celebrate 3 years, and today I'm kind of falling apart a little bit, to be honest with you.
Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully you've come to the right place.
Thank you.
Yes, you
So,
have.
Yeah. Sending all the
How you-
love and support that I can. I'm coming in at the end of that, Tara, but sending all the love and support that I can.
Thank you. I will receive that. Thank you very much.
I
And
would
hi,
love.
Jenny.
Hey, Annie.
Hi,
Hey, Stacia.
hi, Plant. Hi, Carol. Hi,
Good to
Tara.
see you guys. Good to see you.
I'm sending you love, Tara, and support.
Yeah, yeah,
I know it's hard, honey. Life is hard.
yeah. It is.
It's okay. We have each other. There's going to be
Yeah,
good days and bad.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually jumped on because I didn't know if anyone was going to be on with Carol, and I've told her before I would never leave her in the lurch.
I love you, Annie. I love you so much.
I love you too. I really do. So, hello to everybody in the stream that I can't see,
Yes.
but that I've tried to
Hey,
acknowledge.
Zelda.
Yes.
Hey, Ben Bacon Bits. Hey, Matrix. Good to see you guys. Hey, Tony B. Hey, Miss Sunrise Dawn. Good to see you. So, when you say emotional hangover, I think I get a picture of what that is, and I probably have experienced it, but maybe help me out a little bit understanding.
Yeah. So the first thing, I was doing great yesterday. Yesterday was a fantastic day. Some of you I saw on Tommy's call-in show last night, and I was feeling great last night. Um, some of you know I had a tooth pulled a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
It got infected. They told me I could do a root canal or an extraction, and I chose an extraction.
Yeah.
And they pulled a cyst out from underneath my tooth. When they pulled it, they didn't even know that was there.
Oh.
And we thought the infection had gone away. Well, last night I noticed, like right after Tommy's live stream, that my face was starting to swell again. I don't know if you can see that.
No.
It's
Yeah.
nowhere near as swollen as it was before the tooth was
Yeah.
pulled. But I
Yeah.
had to go to the dentist this morning, and they prescribed another round of antibiotics, but they're not actually sure that it's an infection at this point. We don't actually know. And then some other stuff happened too. Furniture shopping. It's like I'm blessed to have a place and be furniture shopping, but I feel like I got snaked on a piece of furniture, and it kind of was triggering to me. And that in combination with the tooth thing, just not feeling well. And I didn't, someone said, how did you sleep, or did you get sleep last night? And the truth is, no, I didn't, because my tooth was hurting so bad all of a sudden that I didn't. And I think that's adding to sort of the crash from yesterday.
Zelda says antibiotics can mess with your psyche. Yeah, they really can. I mean, especially compounding with an infection. An infection will mess with your psyche.
Yeah, for sure. So I am doing my best to have Grace with myself because that's what I would do for a friend. Like, Stasia, if you were going through this, I would be right here. Carol, if you were going through this, I would support you. And
Yeah.
so I'm just trying to remember to be kind to myself.
Yeah.
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 It's hard to remember that sometimes. And it's, that's why I find places like this to be so helpful. Because it's just like, you know what? All the kindness that I can't give myself right now, I'm able to get externally. And then it took a little bit to figure out how to accept it.
Yeah.
But once I figured out the accepting part, it became a little bit easier.
Yeah. And it's humbling too, because I was feeling so good yesterday. And then all of a sudden it was just like a 180 turn.
Mhm.
As soon as I noticed that my face was swollen, I was like, oh no. And then it's just been kind of like one thing after another. I know it'll pass though. Like I know I'll be okay. It's just one of those days.
You know what might help you feel better is some chicken soup.
Tara, we
Chicken soup. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Tara, we have
Do what, Henny? You're cutting out a little bit,
from your
Henny.
two.
Oh,
You know
Tara.
what? I'm going to go back to the chat. Oh, wait, I think it just came back on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. It's coming in and out because I have a big storm.
Oh,
We have a
okay.
really big.
Okay.
So
It's starting to get choppy again, Henny.
Yeah.
all right. I'm gonna go back and ask Tara.
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to hear what she has to say.
Yeah,
'cause
we
all-
want to hear. We want to know what you were saying, Hilda.
Yeah.
Hilda. I was
Zelda.
saying Zelda over here. Henny.
You know what? And also, Tara, I don't know very, very much about the whole concept of astrology and all of this, but Christy has actually shared a few YouTube channels with me, a Facebook group, and I've been trying to follow along as best as I can, learning along with it and asking a ton of questions. But it seems as if this pending eclipse that we have coming on Monday, like where I am, it's going to be a total eclipse.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, so that was also another thing. If we want me to stream that, I will go somewhere where I can stream that for you guys when that
Right
happens,
on.
because it'll be during meeting.
Oh, cool.
But apparently the energies are very off a week before and a week after the eclipse. So my energies started going wonky late last week. And then I'm feeling it hardcore today. And then it's like, okay, I have an explanation in my head and it helps a little bit.
It does.
Just to understand that it's not just me. There's probably many other people feeling this as well. And that there is a reason behind it. I may not fully understand the reason, but there is a reason behind it. So maybe just be mindful of that if you do believe in any of that, a week before and a week after is what I've read, that the energies typically are wonky.
That is helpful, the reminder, because I actually forgot about the huge eclipse that's coming.
Yeah.
All I was thinking about today was Mercury's in retrograde. That must be what's going on. But I totally forgot about the eclipse. So thank you for that reminder.
Of course, of course.
So Tara, Henny was saying, will you having mouth pain for your tooth being pulled, or if you were, that would have affected anything that you wanted or had to do for the rest of the day, perhaps?
It absolutely has affected every aspect of my day, 100%. And I don't actually know if the swelling is from the tooth that I had pulled or if it's a different issue. There's a chance that I might have to have a filling removed and refilled, because the dentist today said that it might not have been sealed properly.
Okay.
And so that could be the issue. So we're going to wait a couple days to be safe. He prescribed the antibiotic. And if we see improvement over the next couple days, we'll know that it's an infection. But if there's no improvement over the next few days, then I'll just have to have that filling pulled out and replaced.
Okay.
I've got a couple of those that I've got to do, and that's what caused for me some swelling in my face. And they did give me antibiotic as well, actually, and it seemed to help, but the pain is almost constant until it gets taken out and replaced. For me, I grind and clench my teeth at night, though, so I ended up basically clenching my teeth, and I popped the filling. So they suggested taking naproxen. So if you are able to get naproxen, in Canada, we have it in the form of a leave over the counter. It helps significantly.
Yeah, it's an anti-inflammatory.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm loaded up on ibuprofen and Tylenol. My dentist told me to mix those two.
Piggyback them. Yeah.
Like, yeah, they said it's the same as, I forget the pain med that they said research shows that the mixture of Tylenol and ibuprofen, or acetaminophen and ibuprofen, that it's the same as some really effective pain medication. So that's just what I have on hand, and I don't want to spend any more money, to be honest.
Fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
totally. Yeah. Crystal, how are you today?
It's been a roller coaster.
Has it? What's going on?
When I left meeting yesterday, it was because the guy from Sask Housing was calling.
Okay.
I'm sorry I abruptly left, but this one was to let me know what was going on.
Yeah.
So I quickly got Kim on the phone and we talked with him. He said pretty much the only thing that is holding this up is because I have 2 cats.
Okay.
I can take one. I cannot take the other.
Okay.
And that is something that is in the works for straight across Canada. So it's just newly implemented that there are no more working with one person versus another person. It's just strictly you can only have one.
Okay.
He said that they're actually been evicting some people that have more than one, or even asking them like you need to get rid of one or you're gone type thing. And I guess I kind of knew that might be a possibility.
Yeah.
I had run into a counselor that I had seen at the crisis center here in town, probably about 3 weeks ago. And she said that sometimes you have to give up your animals as hard as it is, because it'll come down to either you get a place or you don't.
Yeah.
You give up your animals or you don't get a place.
Yeah.
I was literally in hysterics on the phone with him. Because it's like, as I said to him, I said, so you're asking me to put down one of my babies? And he said, well, no, don't put one of them down. So right now, I am trying my best to try and find a new place for Leo.
Okay.
And I will take Patches with me. Partly because Patches is pretty much a one-person cat. I don't even know where she is. No, that's Leo down there. So, yeah, it's hard. Even Kim couldn't calm me down very well yesterday. I had already taken, like just before our meeting, I had taken a milligram of Ativan just to try and help get rid of the extreme headache I had, because sometimes the Ativan will help calm my body down enough to calm down the headaches, because like they're stress induced. And so I had already taken stuff for that, and Kim and I talked, and then with us talking together, we ended up calling, I think it's 811, which is the mental health line in Canada,
Okay. Okay.
and kind of talked to somebody there, and they were able to kind of help me calm down a little bit more.
Okay.
And Kim stayed on the phone with me until probably about 6:30, 6:45,
Yeah.
just trying to figure this all out. I asked my one friend that lives in this area. She doesn't want to take them. She was actually one of the people on my caregiver list
Okay.
for if something were to happen to me, a place where my cats would go.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
she's got 3 of her own and doesn't want anything to happen to either Leo or hers. And I
yeah.
understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I asked another friend who's in the city that has 1 cat. I said, talk it over between you and your husband and let me know. And she talked to him, and he said, no, he doesn't want more than 1. I thought it would be kind of neat because they've got 2 young kids, and I know the girl absolutely loves cats. Leo is also more sociable than
Yeah.
Patches. So him going to where there's other animals would be okay as well. Patches hates other animals. Even when I take Leo to the vet and she doesn't go as well, when I come back with him, she hisses and spits at him for 2 days.
Oh gosh.
And won't, yeah. So, but I also thought that, moving into a place like this, it would probably be better to have the quieter of the 2 go in with me to begin with.
Makes sense.
Because Leo meows at everything. When he
Orange
alerts,
cat thing.
well, yeah, orange and ragdoll thing. And male. Male cats are more talkative as well.
Okay.
So,
Come to think of it, my orange male cat is very talkative.
yeah.
There you go.
And and part of it too, like with Leo, he alerts big time for more things than I originally thought. And a lot of times when he alerts, he meows. And when he sees bugs, most cats do that chirping. He meows. He outright meows. And so he's meowing. I can't see what he's meowing at, but I know it's got to be a bug. But so I reached out to that friend, and I've reached out to another couple friends through Messenger.
Okay.
And I put seriously need help post on Facebook
Okay.
asking if anybody can help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I even asked my sister-in-law, and she says, no, apartment's not big enough for 3 because they have 2 already. So her and her son.
Okay.
Have you already started looking into rescues by chance? Like maybe not the SPCA, but rescues?
I don't really want to go that way. I want to know who is getting him. And I'm wanting to do it as a foster situation so that I can get him back. Like Patches was going downhill before I got Leo. She was starting to show age. And I didn't want to have no cat because when I lost my Hope, there was about a month between Hope and when I got Patches. And my mental health went down so fast.
Oh, yeah.
So I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't want to do again. And that's why I got Leo when I did.
Yeah.
Because I've never known many cats that live more than 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Hope only lived about 7 years, and most of the cats that I knew guaranteed it was up at the farm, but
Mm-hmm.
still, I haven't known many that are that old. So I'm gutted, but
Yeah.
I know it has to be done.
Okay.
They are fast tracking me to get me into a place.
Yeah.
So I could easily be in a place maybe by the beginning of May.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to send him. There's an absolute last resort. I don't want to end up having to do it if I don't have to. It would be a good situation. Kim's friend Samara is willing to take Leo, but it's got to be last resort.
Okay.
And I know
Well,
I would be able to see him at least on video, or be able to see him when I go into the city. And
yeah. Oh, that would be good.
Mhm.
so he'd be going into a house with about 5 other cats.
Okay. Oh,
So,
hello.
yeah.
Cats
So,
are important for health, Monique says. I so
yes.
much enjoyed seeing your cat when you're on. It really helps me. Aw.
That's Leo that keeps coming on too. So he's the
Aw.
one that, it's so hard because part of me says, okay, if I can't find a spot, then put Patches down and keep Leo. But I don't want to do that.
No.
I
No.
love her so much that I love them both so much. They both have helped me so much.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
been tough.
yeah,
It's
that is. I'm so sorry.
on top of everything else that I've been facing. I ended up taking another half a milligram of Ativan later on in the day. This morning I woke up and there was we tried to get a hold of my counselor as an emergency, and she was busy. I kind of figured she was. I knew she had said something about how busy she would be this next week when I saw her last week. So, but she said she said sorry, and then I got that message this morning, and she asked if I'd be able to take a call later on in the morning.
Okay.
And so that ended up being set up so that Kim and I could talk with Carol and let her know what was going on. And Kim even said, you've calmed down a lot since yesterday.
Yeah.
And
Still doesn't mean it's easy. It's getting easier, but
yeah,
yeah.
it's frustrating because taking Leo away, I don't know what's going to end up happening with Patches. If she's going to end up going downhill again, and I
Oh,
won't have her for much longer, or if she'll be good and continue to live for quite a while. It's
yeah.
it's hard to know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I literally, I said to Kim yesterday, I said, all I want to go and do is hurt myself,
Mm.
because that's how much physical or emotional pain I was in.
Emotional. Yes.
And I know that's not the answer. I know going and doing that stuff is not the right place, because
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
Rick
curious.
Spicer.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to read this comment that just as an encouragement. One from Rick Spicer: overlooked cat answer. Where you're moving to will be other without cats. Someone will love that cat for real. Yeah, it does just suck. J9, go ahead. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay.
Crystal. Oh, go ahead, Crystal.
No, go ahead.
I just am curious. You mentioned that you called that hotline the other day, and I forget what it is in Canada. And in the States, it's 988. What did you say the hotline was in Canada?
I think it's
811.
811.
811. Was that helpful to you? How did that call go?
I couldn't hear all of it because Kim was the one that called it and we were on FaceTime. But she tried to get me to do some breathing exercises, and of course she's like, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and I'm like, I can't breathe through my nose because it was literally full of snot, and even when I was that worked up that even blowing my nose, yeah, no, there's even in the best of times, I'm more or less breathing through my mouth all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll
Yeah.
see what happens, and hopefully I'll, as much as this sounds harsh, hopefully I won't have to have Leo gone for too long. But even in saying that, I know that means that Patches would be gone.
Yeah.
So
I hope it is a situation where you do have the option of getting Leo back if that ends up being what happens.
yeah. Well, I want to write an email so that I can actually have it in writing from Sean that I don't want to have to go through having to fill out all the paperwork again. Once Patches is gone, to be able to get Leo back or to have another cat. Because I don't want to have to go through all of that and then not be able to find someone or find a cat or not being able to bring Leo back.
Yeah.
I want to be able to, once Patches is gone, I want to be able to just bring Leo back right away. Or if push comes to shove, a new one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I need to know that in writing so that I have it in case I'm questioned later on.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Gypsy Daisy's in a similar situation. It's the only place I could bring my animals. It's so unfair. She's in a similar pickle. I'm sorry, Gypsy. Yeah.
it would never have been a problem if I had have just kept Patches and not gotten a kitten.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted her to be able to help train the new one.
Yeah.
And she did train him and help train him. And then she kind of stepped back. So, I'm just looking at J9. Surely you don't need to get one of the cats to sleep.
Yeah. Surely not.
No.
There's got to be a way.
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering. Like, could you get an exemption? Is there some sort of paperwork that can be filed or?
No.
Oh.
I'm even thinking of reaching out to my vet and asking if she has any ideas.
Good idea.
Yeah. Maybe you could get a foster situation.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do but I'm wanting it to be somebody that I know and trust, preferably, because then I know that they're going to look after him good.
Yeah.
Like these two literally help me sleep at night.
Yeah.
They have woken me up from nightmares. They've woke me up, Leo especially, he has woken me up. I have undiagnosed sleep apnea,
Okay.
is the only thing I can figure.
Okay.
I have a 20-degree wedge underneath my mattress to keep the top of my mattress up
Mhm.
so that I don't lose breath in the middle of the night. And he
Oh.
wakes me up if the way
Wow.
I'm laying goes funny.
Have you explained that to the people that are making these decisions about helping you find a place?
They know all of this. I've already put it in my letter, and my counselor Carol had also put in that she needs the two because of this.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it's a difficult situation. I could surrender him to Humane Society or whatever, but then I wouldn't know who he was going to,
No, yeah.
and I wouldn't know if he was in a good situation or a harmful situation.
Yeah.
And I guess too, he's been trained to help, and to put him into a situation where he's not going to continue to get that training is going to be tough even for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
A couple
No.
times ago.
The
Sorry.
reason why I brought up rescues was because I know that Winnipeg isn't super close to Saskatchewan, but I understand that the prairie mentality is pretty similar. There was a few rescues that would do a foster situation in return within that area. So the maybe if it comes down to super last resort, I know you wouldn't know who they're going to, but if there is a rescue in your area that would do a foster for return, that might be a thought.
Yeah. See, there's a group within Kindersley called Cause.
Yep.
And it's KAWS. I'm not completely sure what it stands for. I think it's Kindersley Animal Welfare Society or something along that line, but I don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually heard horror stories about some of the people that are fostering these animals.
No, 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 no. Yeah.
And I don't want to put it out on our town's buy sell site that I'm looking to rehome, because people are absolutely assholes whenever anybody puts that they're trying to rehome a cat or a dog. It's like,
And
well,
what-
you shouldn't have got it in the first place if you didn't think you could look after it. Well, and they don't look at the fact that, somebody's probably doing this out of duress.
Mm-hmm.
And it just pains me to see that people are so stupid behind a typewriter.
Oh, yeah. 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 Things that they more than likely would not say to somebody looking them in the eye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What would you think about talking with a physician about having the two cats and seeing about a doctor's note or something like that?
I've already got the doctor's letter.
Oh, you got a letter from a doc? I missed that. I thought you said you got a letter from a therapist.
Yeah. To all you really need in Saskatchewan to certify an animal is a letter from your physician.
Okay.
And so when she wrote that letter, I made sure she put in there that I need both service animals.
Mm-hmm.
But because they're not certified as I can't remember the term. they're just emotional support animals. They're not an actual service animal.
Yeah.
They can't
You
go
almost
into other buildings with me or anything. They just stay at home.
you almost it seems like you could almost make the argument of them being service animals because of what they do for you when you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to get those letters, I can only get those kind of letters for one,
Okay.
because I looked into that as well.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Me
so
too.
sorry.
it's tough, but I have to remember that God is in the details, and He knows where Leo needs to go right now. And He knows that this is the way to get me into where I need to be
Yeah.
to get better mentally and physically.
Right on.
And this will more than likely get it so that I can actually go through with the sale of the trailer, and I won't have to lose the sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I would like to be able to actually get the sale of the trailer into her hands sooner than June 1st, if at all possible.
J9, I'm so sorry that you're so triggered by all this. If you need a break, it's perfectly okay. I understand. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can 100% see where it is. Yeah. Where it is that you'd be going through that. And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for both of you. It's just so unfair.
Yeah.
No, dog sled cats. No, that wouldn't work.
That'd be great.
I'm
That'd be
not
great.
that. I'm not that far north. I'm in the bald prairies. I will never say the flat prairies because they're not flat. They're just bald.
Pretty close to flat. You go
Oh no. Oh no. When
you
you're
go
riding a bike,
Ontario to Manitoba, and it's like, how far am I really seeing right now?
when you ride a bike and walk everywhere like I used to, you know that there's hills everywhere.
Oh yeah.
But, so
Some of,
yeah.
Shell, some of my cats are big enough to be dog sled cats.
Human rules. Yeah. And
Yeah.
we seem to be getting more and more and more of them. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
It's not going to be sustainable for long. We can keep trying to throw more rules at things, but those more rules are just causing more problems, and everything's just going to collapse.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I've been triggering you, J9. I don't mean to trigger anybody.
Yeah. But it is an issue that you're facing, you know.
Yeah.
And you've got to navigate through this.
Yeah. Well, and there's
I'm
a couple of people that I know would take him in a heartbeat, but they live
Yeah.
too far away.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Gypsy
Yeah.
days. If it wasn't for my cats, I would already have taken off and be living in my minivan with the dogs. I can't do that to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matrix. Welcome back.
So yeah, I didn't end up going into work today. I could barely keep my eyes open this morning and constantly crying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I messaged my manager at 3:00 in the morning, and I told him, I said, I'm just going to go in for 4 hours today, just to get my handheld work done, because I don't want people messing up my counts like they have been. And I actually had texted that to my direct supervisor as well as my department manager. And he actually texted me back, my store manager, and he said, just take the whole day off. Let Sheila know that you need her to cover your gun work, and just take the whole day off. I know you weren't feeling good yesterday. So it's like resending texts to the other two saying, okay, I'm just taking the whole day off as per Arun saying. So
Mm-hmm. But
So
that's good that they can recognize that you needed the time.
yeah,
That is really good that they could recognize that.
the part that has been really helpful with our store manager, and I know some people would disagree, but one thing I have found when I look at different mental illnesses, there's
Mhm.
a lot of similarities between autistic and borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
And so I've actually started explaining to people, okay, do you know someone who's autistic? And 9 times out of 10, somebody knows somebody who's on the spectrum. I said,
Yeah.
okay, that's me when it comes to emotional regulation.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually helps people understand better, because
Okay.
when I say I have borderline personality disorder, they're all just kind of like, yeah, okay, what's that?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but our store manager's daughter is actually autistic. And he has literally said to me, he would rather have a store full of employees that are on the spectrum or have some mental illness than those that don't.
Okay.
Because the ones that are on the spectrum or have mental illness, 9 times out of 10 are more meticulous
Yeah.
and more organizational than
Right
those who are
on.
not. And they
Right
care
on.
more about the job that they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Right on. You know, and as long as they're willing to work within, you know, the parameters that, you know, that's that can be a good thing. Otherwise it's cause for, you know, it can be not a good thing for the employees if they don't have that understanding that they got to work with them a little bit. But it sounds like your supervisor does understand that.
yeah, my store manager really does.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, I am an open book with the
Yeah.
managers. As
Right.
soon as I was diagnosed, I made sure I got paperwork from the doctor saying what my diagnosis was.
Yeah.
And so that I'm covering my own butt.
Yeah.
Because in them knowing right off the get-go, they cannot fire me for any situation that would come up that would be directly related to how I deal with my mental illness.
Yeah.
So when I freak out on somebody, that's not always me talking.
Yeah.
If I'm going from 0 to 100 in seconds, that's my illness talking, not me.
Yeah.
And so it does cover my behind.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the one good thing that Walmart is known for, is they will work with their associates who have mental and physical disabilities. And I say that specifically for Walmart Canada, because Walmart Canada is a total different entity than any of the other Walmarts across the world.
Yes.
Okay.
We just have the same parent.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Openness is so important to be helped. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. People can't help if they don't know what's going on.
No. Well, and when I was first diagnosed with depression back in 2000, I had just started working for Walmart. I'd been working for about 6 months with them, and they were the only, like, they helped me. My church family didn't help me. They just said, pray and get over it. It was my work family that came around
Wow.
beside me and said, what can we do to help you?
Wow. You know what?
Yeah.
That unfortunately, that does not surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the cruelest people that I've ever met have been, in that arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that hurt the worst is the person who said it to me was a nurse.
Wow.
And she was helping me with some other stuff. And she came in, she saw me, she asked me why I hadn't been in church the last few weeks. And I said, well, for one, because I've been having to work on Sundays. And two, because I don't have, even if I don't have to work on Sundays, I can't get out of bed because I've been diagnosed with depression. And she looked me straight in the face, said, pray and get over it, and turned and walked away. And I'm like,
Whoa.
That's what?
Real winner there.
So familiar. And it happens so much,
Yeah.
unfortunately, in that community. I'm sorry to
Well,
say it, but that's been my experience. What do you do?
Yeah. Well, because of the way I grew up, good Christians don't get depressed. So it was extremely difficult for me to even go to the doctor and say, this is what's happening. I'm depressed. And to say those words, the only reason I did it is because my friend, who was also helping me as a therapist, she said to me, Crystal, you either make an appointment with your doctor for tomorrow, or I will phone and have you committed.
Ooh.
And that's the only reason I went to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I was that bad.
It was so liberating after I left the cult to just allow myself to be sick and stay in bed.
Yeah.
Instead of doing all this spiritual warfare crap that,
Whoa. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We gotta talk one of these days, Carol.
I'm totally serious. It was liberating just to be able to say I'm sick and be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't end up going to church for quite a while. And then when my parents moved to the same community I was in, and this was the one time my mother was actually good. She made sure that I came over to their place if I wasn't going into work, just so that I wouldn't be alone. And she slowly started encouraging me to go with them to their church. And I'd been going there constantly for probably a good 8 months before I finally said to somebody, I think this is home. I think this is my church home.
Right on.
Because they were accepting me regardless of if I could get there every Sunday. They were accepting me regardless of knowing that I had mental illness. And so I started to plug in.
Yeah.
But
there's always going to be those sour, rotten apples.
Yeah. The ones that don't understand.
And don't want to, and just want to be mean about it.
Yeah.
And dismissive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dismissive aspect is you can't talk too much about it publicly. But the dismissive aspect of some humans right now is significantly bothering. So I wish that we could find a solution for it. We could find a solution for letting people see others before themselves, but sometimes those people are just never going to see others before themselves.
Yeah.
Be the change you want to see.
I was meaning to ask you because you've been through a really frustrating experience, Plant.
Yeah.
How do you deal with people when they are just so infuriatingly frustrating to deal with? How is there some tips or tricks? Because I know you've been through it, and obviously you haven't committed a homicide yet.
Not yet.
I was just wondering if you had any tips that you deal with frustration with.
I use my customer service experience to deal with people that I have a hard time with, and it's kill them with kindness. Inside of my head, I'm saying some pretty horrible things. But to them specifically, I'm very sorry that you seem to be having a hard day today, but I need to go this way, and I need to go deal with some of my own things. Maybe go talk to somebody over there. Like, I just try and pass it off.
Go talk to somebody else.
Yeah, I'm not the person to. The best way that I can put it lately is just I'm not the person to talk to. If I just can't function with whatever energy is coming at me, I'm really sorry, but I'm not the person who can manage this right now. You maybe want to go talk to somebody in the other direction. Sorry about that. And then the sorry is all Canadian. You say sorry for everything. So
when I was a security guard, anybody who would get mad and start yelling at me, I would be so nice to them that they were like, "Why are you being so nice to me?" And I'd be like, "Well, because you're not being nice."
Now, I will admit, I have gotten to an enraged point where I never thought that I would see myself, but realized it was the environment.
Everybody's got a breaking point.
Yeah. And after leaving that environment, I realized like there's like the stress threshold that everybody has. And everybody's threshold is just a little bit different.
Sure.
I already had a very high threshold, and now my threshold is even higher. So when I had lost mom when I was young, I didn't talk much. I did not discuss the situation. I did not discuss what I was feeling. A single father with like a girl going into puberty, and then I went and lived with my grandmother. I called Children's Aid myself and was put into foster care. So my stress level was always very, very high. And until the current situation, I don't think I've ever felt less stressed. And I think that that's hilarious to say, because this is very difficult. This is extremely difficult, but I don't feel as much stress internally as I have my whole entire life.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't talk until I had a bunch of heart attacks, and then I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. And that's the things I noticed. If anything, I used to be really good. I used to be up yours, bite me. But now I find my tolerance is getting really low. And I mean, before, I worked customer service, but only for a short time. And that was always something where, Domino's Pizza, may I help you? It's like, whoa.
Not today, Satan.
You could occasionally let it out. I don't know. I mean, I've been trying to check in with myself. Is my stress level high? I just, maybe I'm just turning into a crotchety old man. That could be. But
I'm not calling you old. You said it.
You just don't have tolerance for BS.
Yeah. Now, federal employees, I used to work with them. I used to deal with them fairly well. But anymore, I think that's what ruined me, though. I think it was working for the federal government. Well, I was a subcontractor, for the military. But
Oh, that'll do it.
I think, I mean, it'd be kind of one of the things, though. You think you're removed from it, but yeah, I just don't know, because I cannot, and it's all I can do to not to tell this person what to go do with themselves, or to postulate on their
Hey,
parents'
Cosmic.
questionable upbringing.
Hmm. And one other thing that popped in my head was watching the protest. Sometimes it's overwhelming. If I'm highly stressed, I can't do it. But watching the protest will either help or destroy me. It's one or the other. And I know that you follow them probably closer than I do.
Yeah, that might
So the fact that there's a lot of federal or government issues happening there, plus your experience with it, and if you're just slightly extra stressed and something happened that night, like a swatting, who knows? I know for me, it affects me. As soon as the swatting comes on, I'm like, all right, I got to watch this on like a different stream tomorrow when it's just a breakdown. I can't watch it live.
Yeah, it's, and I think that's that's actually a good point, because I didn't even think of that.
Well, I got a high threshold for. I did collections for 15 years, so.
Oh.
Oh.
So I
Well, there's another way.
I got
There's
a high
another way of calling
threshold
it.
for all that. Yeah.
Instead of a threshold, you could call it a window of tolerance. So when you're like, it's something that my therapist has talked about, especially people who have been through trauma, they might find that some things lessen their window of tolerance. So, it's like, if you think about it, some, like Stacey, you're saying you have a big window of tolerance, there's you can fit a lot in there before you start to get, upset. Whereas my window of tolerance is very little right now. So, because I've been through, we've all handled stuff different. So my window of tolerance has been shrunk since my last incident, where it used to be quite large. I used to handle lots of things, and now I just can't handle a lot. So I like the window of tolerance, because it shows, because your threshold can change with a window of tolerance can change with every situation that you're in. It just depends on what triggers you, or how you're feeling in the time.
Well,
If
I
you
have to
haven't
watch
eaten.
what upsets me.
Yeah. So there's lots of things that can minimize your window of tolerance type thing. So yeah.
Although I wonder if my threshold has gotten larger, but maybe not so much larger, but I've been able to place boundaries better.
Right on.
So I have less coming at me, because I have firmly said, this is my boundary. This is what will happen if you cross my boundary. And I am willing to follow through with what the consequences.
There's something I want to address here. Rick, I appreciate you so much, but I'm going to agree to disagree here. Don't waste time protesting. Be happy they aren't listening. There's a reason why protest was made a law of the whole land, not just state to state, our whole United States of America. It is that important. That is how a lot of change has happened. And if somebody feels compelled to speak out against injustice, I'm not going to discourage them.
It's your God-given right to protest.
That's right.
I mean, the reason why we have that is because all the countries that everybody came from, they couldn't protest. They couldn't even protest when they got here.
Yeah, there were potentially lethal consequences for speaking out against the government, whatever governing body was in charge.
If it was treason, that you died. I mean, everybody who signed the Declaration of Independence, if they were caught, they would have been killed. And they knew that when they signed the What was the 4th of July thing?
Independence Day?
Yeah, the
Or
Declaration of
Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, everybody who signed that, if they would have caught, it was sedition. Yeah, they would have killed them all. They could have got them. That's
It's
why
funny.
they kept on moving.
It's funny because when there was a women's march here, I went. Actually, it was the first protest walk I ever went on. There was tens of thousands of people there, and the and it happened all over the country and all the major cities and all that sort of stuff. And same day, and the Prime Minister said at the time, our evangelical Christian Prime Minister at the time said that we're lucky. The protesters are lucky they didn't get shot because in many countries people can't protest. So instead of saying,
Yeah,
but that was a snide comment because it was women. It was women that were protesting, So it was just like he was saying, "Oh well, we should be lucky we're not shot. We should feel grateful because he didn't come and speak or anything like that." And there was another prime minister at a different protest when Australia had brought in all the gun laws. John Howard, tiny little short man, he stood in front of protesting gun owners at protesters and explained why it had to happen, and it was because the Port Arthur massacre, and then he stood there in front of screaming angry gun owners, and our prime minister that we had wouldn't even stand in front of women. So it's just that's why protest is important, I think, is because it shows the people in power actually think, because how they react to the protest is quite indicative.
Cosmic, it shows you who the true leader is.
Yeah.
The guy standing in front of the guns is the true leader.
Yeah, but he was also terrible. That was the one good thing he ever did, was bring in that
Well,
thing. The rest he ruined everything else. But I appreciate him for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of terrible people who did good things.
Yeah, even the clock wrong. A broken clock's right twice a day. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and that was 100 years ago, J9. Yeah, and we get to vote now, and they paid the price, and it was a horrendous price in a lot of cases, and I'm sure they got it when they got home if they were married. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a cause for divorce for a lot of women because their men were like, "Oh, shall divorce them because they've got an opinion." Probably still the same today for many people.
Well, that's just wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's lots of places where people still don't have very many rights. I'm talking about everybody. So I think that we should feel grateful that we have the ability to speak out. So
Henny,
how are you going today, Crystal?
Henny just said civil rights movement was based on nonviolent protest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so was a Gandhi one. Quite peaceful protest. So and the women's protest was completely peaceful. There was no nothing. Although the police did try and start a fight with some Indigenous women that were standing next to me because they weren't allowed to be touching the fence. And I'm like, I'm sitting on the fence.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I was right next to them. And I'm like, what? No. Yeah.
Tara, I have to know, were you speaking to your higher power, or was that somebody here to check up on the water heater? If so,
You're a great listener, Ben. You have a great memory. So it was, in fact, the repair guy for the water heater.
Okay.
I guess it needed a new thermocoupler. It is fixed. I should have hot water in 30 minutes. One thing at a time. It gets better.
I'm kind of curious about something, Tara.
What's up?
Since you're a peer support worker, do you have a high tolerance for people?
Do I have a higher power for people? Is that what you said?
No, a higher tolerance.
High tolerance.
Dealing with people.
Oh, do I have a high tolerance dealing with people? I was like, I have a high tolerance in something. Let me tell you what. My tolerance is pretty high these days, although some days are better than others. Like I got snaked today at the furniture shop. Somebody she said, are you looking at this? I was clearly looking at a piece of furniture, and she took it. She took it. I was thinking about picking it up, and she took it right in front of me. But I could have said something like, yes, I am, but instead I was like trying to look at other stuff, trying to make her think that I wasn't looking at it because I wasn't sure. And it's my fault. It's my own fault. But in terms of like, and that struck me. I actually shed a couple tears, and I think my mouth situation might have something to do with it. But something that I was thinking about that I was taught by my therapist when Plant Freak was talking is to don't go deep. And that's an acronym that I learned from my therapist, and I think it's a Dr. Ramani thing, but I'm not positive about that.
It sounds like it.
I think she might have coined it, but my first thought was I just don't engage. I learned at the Safe House, don't engage. And that's the first E in deep. So the acronym stands for don't defend, don't engage, don't personalize. That's the P. And I'm trying to remember what the second E is for. I can't remember what the second E is for right now, but the engagement piece, I think, is for me the most important, because in the beginning of my time at the shelters, the Safe House in particular, I felt a need to answer questions if I was asked them. If people were talking to me, I felt a need to talk back, but sometimes that's not the best decision. Sometimes it's best just to say nothing and to walk away.
Wow, wow, you're right on. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I think that might actually be my downfall, because for the longest time I lacked the confidence to engage with people. But now it's like I'm over engaging, and I think I might be finding what I don't want to find. And instead of taking it, it's like, oh, you want to go down the next level? Fine, let's go down. Let's see how low we can get. I think I probably need to practice that a little more as well.
So I did find the acronym. So defend, engage, explain, personalize.
Explain. Thank you. Thank you. Does it say who made that acronym up?
Looking.
Excellent. Yeah, I love that acronym.
It was Dr. Ramani.
That's what I thought. Right on.
Yeah. And it's, if I'm not mistaken, Henny has brought up the theory before as well. And it is in one of Ramani's books where she explains it a little bit further. Not the newest one. It wasn't, or It's Not You, I think is what the newest one is, but I think it was her first one.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I've been wanting to read. I haven't read any of her books yet. I have It's Not You on hold at my library, so I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to that one too, and sadly I'm going to mark that book up like crazy, so I need to purchase a copy.
Honest answer. Oh no, that's Lena Cisco. I'm sorry. Never mind. Somebody else.
Hey, Nisha. Well.
Thank you for that.
How are you feeling, Tara?
I feel much better now that I know I can take a hot shower later today. That's going to be really nice.
Right on.
And I feel it feels nice to know that I'm not alone. Like everybody here is dealing with something. Not everybody here voiced it, but I would be willing to bet that we're all dealing with something. So it's nice to know I'm not alone.
Yeah. It's been raining for 3 days here, and I got arthritis. So.
Yeah. We got ourselves a snowstorm coming tomorrow and Friday, and something like 2 feet of snow.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Ooh.
I'm not looking forward to this.
We're supposed to get a bunch of rain this week.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun.
No, you're supposed to get the snow. I'm supposed to get the rain. Did Mother Nature not get the
memo? No. We don't want no more snow.
We had a massive thunderstorm last night. Yeah. That was like maybe a kilometer away was the lightning. I was like, oh, nice.
Oh, there's something about like thunderstorms that's just relaxing for me. If I'm having a hard time sleeping, I found like a YouTube stream. It's 24 hours and it's like vicious thunderstorms. I mean, vicious. And that's what's going to get me to sleep.
Plant
I actually have one on at the
sends
moment
me right
on my
off too.
TV.
Yeah.
You know,
That
they
would
have,
freak me
they
out.
have they have videos that run 24/7 of thunderstorms and rain and all that good stuff to
Well,
sleep
And
to.
they've got ones with black
I grew up
screen if
in
you can't handle
Iowa.
the light.
Yeah.
I grew up in Iowa, and they have violent thunderstorms there.
Yeah.
So
I tried
I
getting
did. Well, I started it off to get my dog prepared for storms because she's so scared of storms. And then, so I had a storm on all day, and then I'm walking around going, "Oh, it's so nice." And then you go to sleep, and I've got the storm on right now. That's thunderstorm and rain on a tin roof. Sounds amazing. So it's just relaxing all day, and you go to bed. It's so you cozy up because it feels like it's raining, even though it's not.
I tried getting one of those clocks that has a little thunderstorm built in it, but unfortunately it uses your brain when you're trying to go to sleep is really good at detecting patterns.
Yeah.
It will.
Yes.
And unfortunately they use too short of a segment in your brain's, or at least my brain system. Wait a minute. Okay, there's a pattern. It's been so many seconds. Yep,
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
and now it's like a song
You can
of
hear when it loops.
yeah, we built this city on rock and roll. If you listen to the bass line, all the bass line is bomb, 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 bomb. After you hear that, you can't unhear it.
Unhear it.
Every time you'll hear that
I'm
song,
not going to listen to that song
yeah,
now.
same. But
Yeah.
so
My issue is I analyze songs before I decide if I like them. So yeah. I hear the patterns and then I'm just hearing the patterns later.
I can't listen to music when I'm going to sleep. So I'll be like, oh, I like this song. I'll listen to this one. Oh, I like the next one. Oh, I like the next one. But I listen to people talk because after a while I just zone out. So I go to sleep.
Here it is. Don't defend, don't explain, don't engage, don't personalize.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, all that's hard for me.
Yeah,
It is so hard.
it can be. Yeah.
What do you mean I'm not supposed to take it personally?
And I think that's why that's a big part of why we can't walk away. Sometimes it's like because we're taking things so personally, we feel like we have to stand up for ourselves. We feel like we have to set a boundary with somebody. But sometimes the boundary is, I'm not taking this.
Yeah.
Well, I actually I've found I've spoke about this with my therapist. I tend to over-explain and all that sort of stuff when people don't believe me. And I don't lie, so I don't know why they don't believe me. And so I'll over-explain until they, I try and bombard them with more facts until they actually pay attention. And a lot of that's because I haven't been believed my entire life about certain situations, like what sort of person my father was. So now, if someone doesn't believe me, it's an instant, like I'm like a porcupine. My spines go up, and you come near me, I'll attack, and you will believe me because I'm telling the truth. And a lot of that's got to do with the fact that I've been lied to my whole life, and I don't lie, and so I won't take anyone thinking I'm a liar like my parents. So, and I know it's not particularly healthy, but me knowing that's why, like knowing and me talking about it with my therapist is actually helping because I know that knowing why you do something helps to maybe not stop doing it, but make it less of a, you might lessen the impact if you know why you're doing it,
I do the same thing, Cosmic.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I overshare everything, same as you, because nobody ever believes me.
And building on that thought and going back to the tolerance conversation, I think my tolerance is high these days, but I also think that because I've learned how to enforce boundaries, how to either communicate them, not communicate them, whatever the case may be, that even though my tolerance is high, I don't actually tolerate as much these days, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like they've my ability to tolerate went up because of my experiences, but also my ability to navigate so that I don't have to tolerate as much. It's like enforcing boundaries. That piece has helped me to where I don't have to walk away from as many things because people sooner know that, oh, she's not going to take the bait, you know?
Yeah.
Well, see, I was so chill. I was super chill, and everyone couldn't believe how relaxed and calm I was in pretty much most situations. Until I got this last, the last 4 years or so, and a lot of that's because I think before I used to be like, there's no point. I've given up fighting, so let's just go through life, blah 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 blah. And now I'm like, I've got something I've got to fight for, which is me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the anger is there. I need a bit of that to keep fighting. So
Yeah.
I have
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to fight. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you just I think you adapt to different situations, and that's one thing I am, is very adaptable, even though I hate change. So go figure.
I think it's actually a beautiful thing about being human. We adapt whether we recognize that we are or not. And when we can acknowledge and see that we're adapting, we can adapt better to situations.
I'm not sure.
I compartmentalize well.
I'm not sure what you're asking, Tara, Misha. I'll try to.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think you're alluding to the beginning of the stream. I was feeling pretty overwhelmed, and like my water heater hadn't been fixed yet. Thank God that got rectified during this live stream. That was a really nice thing to, and I even got frustrated about it during the stream because I specifically told them that I wanted to carve out this little chunk of time for this meeting. And then that's when they show up. And so I was just like, all right, you know what? Like, fix it. If you can fix it, that would be great. And so it was just, Ned, as I endearingly call you, awakened, Misha, Ned, I was super overwhelmed, feeling emotionally hungover from yesterday because it was such a great day. And then my tooth swole up. I got snaked with the furniture this morning. I had to go to the dentist this morning. They don't actually know what's wrong with my mouth. We're just experimenting with antibiotics to see if it helps. And then the water heater was out, and it was just like one thing after another. It's like, God, yesterday was so great. Why is today so weird? And it was like a moment of overwhelm, but I know that I'm going to be okay. And those moments these days, just to offer some hope to people, if you're like, what, this is 3 years sober and she's crying. It's like, well, yeah, I think I do believe that emotional hangovers are a thing. And for me personally, if I have a really great day, I tend to kind of crash the next day.
Okay.
Like, that's what I meant, Carol, by emotional hangover.
Okay.
It's like,
okay.
It's like my drug was my high from yesterday, feeling so amped up and stoked and psyched. And there was a buildup to that too, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be 3 years clean and sober. And then today I didn't sleep last night because my mouth was hurting so bad. And so all of those things compounded together. When I hopped on here, I didn't expect to shed some tears, but I did, and I feel better for it, and I'm going to be okay. And those periods of overwhelm are way shorter for me these days than they used to be.
Right on.
It's like when you
and
cry in a
that
safe
could be
space.
just learning about your boundaries, and that's
Sleep
okay.
deprivation makes you more vulnerable too.
Well, that too. Yeah, there is that.
Yeah. And I just want to say, Tara, I'm really grateful, and as a group, I'm sure I'm speaking for everybody, just happy that you're able to feel safe to open up with us and have that moment.
Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate that, because I almost was like, I don't even want anybody to see me this way. It was just like such a stark contrast from the way I was feeling. I was like, these people are gonna see how mentally challenged I am. I mean, seriously, like, to go from so well to not well, but I'm okay. The meeting really helped me, and I know that everything that I'm dealing with right now is going to pass.
That's right.
It's temporary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
Now I need to
Just-
drink my own Kool-Aid on that.
Yeah, and to remember, like, I used to get so mad at the shelter manager at the safe house that I lived at. Because I was in my early recovery, but I was at the beginning at that time. And whenever I would come into her office and she'd be like, "How are you doing?" I'd be like, "I'm actually doing really good." And she's like, "It's fleeting. Enjoy it." And I'd be like,
Oh,
don't rain on my parade. But now I understand.
Oh.
It's sort of like a lesson. I kind of understand now what she was getting at, is that, like, seriously enjoy those moments of happiness and like being high up, because inevitably that'll pass too.
Exactly. I'm learning that the having the term emotional hangover is pretty good, actually, because after my last major date that I had to deal with, I ended up running away to Ontario for a week. And when I got back, that next morning, I think I got back here, it had to have been about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And then when I woke up the next morning at 7 a.m., the world crashed. Everything just came crashing back. So to have a term for it, it sounds silly, but to have a term for it, it helps me, because then I'm able to say, this is what's happening. So thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I can't take credit for it. Sorry, go ahead.
It's almost like you're back to reality. I kind of want to start a song there, but I won't.
Yeah.
After, because you're going through a day of like everything seems like it's going right and all that sort of stuff, and the next day everything goes wrong. It's like, because it's like the world's trying to remind you, like, yeah, you've got to this point, but there's still life to go on with. So it seems to happen like after every good thing that happens, something else does happen. I feel like it's me personally. I feel like the universe is just trying to say, don't get too happy, because but I know that's probably not it. It's like, it's probably all coincidental, but it feels like it's not,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have all that, but I'm bipolar, so.
This is a good reminder. Krista Melinda says happiness wouldn't feel good without sadness, though, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't know what it was. It would just be normal. There'd be nothing to compare it to.
Great point.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
It makes sense, but it doesn't mean I have to like it.
Yeah. In practice, toothaches aren't that fun in practice, but I know you're right. Like I started an antibiotic and it'll pass.
Mm-hmm.
It's too fast. But it's, I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, that's all right. I just saw my dog in the background, thought she was cute.
ADHD brain.
Yeah, squirrel.
And then my version of ADHD brain is, you said snap back to reality, so now that Eminem song's going through my head.
Yes, because that's what started it. So, yes. As I was talking about, now she's under my feet. I'm gonna have to go anyway, because I've got my another support worker coming today. So yesterday I spent all day on the phone. So yeah. So yes. I love you guys, and it was great to see you.
Thank you so much, Cosmic.
Good to see you, Cosmic.
Thank you. I'll still be listening though.
Love
Okay,
the love the cowboy hat, by the way.
Oh, thanks. It's too bright out there. All right, see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Yeah. I like how you put,
Go ahead, Crystal.
I like how you put that, Tara, the hangover. Because I know when things are going good and then there's that crash at the end, and I know there's going to be that crash, but just to have a different name for it. Like, I don't know what a real hangover is like. So
Lucky you.
Yeah. My goodness.
My one brother was alcoholic, and when there was one point when he had our cousin and another guy over, and he literally told me to shut up or they would come and shut me up. And I knew what that meant. And I won't even be near anybody that's drinking.
Yeah.
Okay, just to clarify and trigger warning, he didn't mean that they would unalive me. They would come and the 4-letter word that starts with R.
Golly.
Yeah.
Ew. Oh my God.
But of course, he was already doing it. So, but he would have brought my cousin in as well as his other friend.
Oh, Crystal.
So
Mm,
I didn't want to be even near anybody who was drinking. And I still
That's-
don't. I hated it when I had to clean the bar in the hotel because there were people in there. And when you're cleaning a guy's washroom in a bar, they don't care. They will walk in while you're cleaning and start going, and you're like, go away.
yeah.
So it's not been something that I want to be around.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah.
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 For good reason. For good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So
Well, what do you guys think? If we had a meeting?
Ooh, yeah.
yes.
I feel like a 3.
I feel like a
The
3
top
too.
part of a heart. There we go. Tara, I did want to say those questions last night on the boat. Oh my God. Reese was blushing so hard, and like you're just gonna need to come up with a bunch of them every single time and be like, knock them off every call-in.
Yeah, I've got a few in my notebook already for the next time, so I'll be looking out for them to go live.
I'll be sending you emails. They're live.
Right? Yeah, do because I get notifications, so do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, yay.
How are you feeling, Carol?
I'm feeling good. Yeah. I've got my heater on my feet here. My only complaint about today is it was cold.
There.
And I'm gonna have to be out in it soon enough. So I'm gonna I've enjoyed having the heat on my feet. I feel like a cat who finds a warm place.
Need to get you a heated blanket, or a heated bodysuit. You could just like pull an extension cord around the barn.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
You can get heated jackets.
Yeah, battery powered one.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Oh,
yeah.
can I say something?
Good.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
I bought a mic and it's coming tonight, and I might go on and test it out. And if I do, I'm gonna talk about if you think you can do it, then you probably can't. So
Okay.
I mean, I started a podcast. Why did I start it? Because I thought I could. I played the bass. Why? Because I thought I could. I mean,
I didn't catch that. I didn't catch part of that. I'm going to see if I can turn you up a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I said, if you think you can do it, why did I start my podcast? Because I thought I could do it. All right. Why did I start playing bass? Because I thought I could do it. So you can think you can do something, you can do it. Just put your mind to it. And the energy to get it done.
I love
so you're telling me I can get back to surfing? Is that what you're saying?
I'm telling you, you can do anything you put your mind to. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, if you want to go surfing, find a break.
Yes,
go
I do.
surf it.
I know exactly where the breaks are.
Well, I used to know where the breaks were in San Diego. Weren't that many, but there's a couple of good ones. So I used to surf a long time ago. I don't think I could do it now.
Well, thank you for the reminder.
Hey, sometimes that's what people need, a reminder, so they can do something if they love. I mean, the whole reason why I'm getting back into bass playing and everything, it's something I love to do. And I stopped doing it. And I stopped doing everything. And I found the boat, and I found all you guys, and look at me now.
Yay!
So,
I love it. I love it.
hey, I wouldn't be doing this stuff if it wasn't for you guys. It wasn't, for there's a few people on the boat that no matter what, every morning, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody
That's
checks
good
on me.
stuff.
Nobody checks on me. Anybody that checks on me, I'm like, okay. I like this.
Yeah.
Gives me a reason.
Yeah. I love it.
I had a video clip that popped up in my YouTube feed, Facebook feed, and it was a couple of bass guys, but they were playing the guitar riffs to "Sweet Child of Mine," but they were playing it on the bass. And it actually didn't sound bad. It sounded really good.
Wow.
I was
Okay.
impressed.
Okay.
I can play that. I mean, anytime you guys want me to play bass, just let me know. Tell me what song you want me to play. I'll learn it. It'll take me. I'll play it for it. I mean, I know how to play a lot of songs.
Carol's
Right
gonna
on.
have a new bass intro here soon.
Hey, I got some classical books that are one of them Bach and one of them Brahms. So as soon as I nail them, I'll record it and I'll send it to you.
Yay.
I do really envy you picking the bass and not drums.
Well, I can play the drums on my bass.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I can play the bass and I can do the lead lines on it if I really thought about it. I haven't done it in a really long time, but finger tapping means really easy. I mean, it's just you just gotta have the bass line in one part of your brain and the lead line in the other.
Okay.
It sounds hard, but it's not.
Well,
I probably intuitive, huh? Go ahead.
Well,
Ben.
I mean,
Sorry.
it's all scales sometimes. So, I mean,
Okay.
if you know your scale.
That part always intimidated me, to tell the truth, about switching
What,
over.
Scales?
Yeah, because scales on a necked instrument. I have a bell set or a xylophone, whatever you want to call it. I have a bell set, and it's basically a keyboard, but you're playing with mallets or drumsticks.
Uh-huh.
Well, I get that part, but yeah, once you start talking, C can be over here, or it could be down here, it can be down here. Then you have the C string, not to be confused. You got a C chord.
Okay.
You got
Here. Okay. I'll give you. All you have to do is learn one string, learn the notes on it. Okay. When the C's here, there, and everywhere else, it's just neck position. It's still the same C.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to learn how to play bass, we'll get together. I'll teach you how to play. I'll have you playing in a month. Any song you want.
Well, it might be easier. Although I do
I've
find
been playing for 40 years, man.
Well,
I know I know what to learn and what not to learn. So, and it's not that hard.
I've been playing drums for about the same time. The one thing I find doing it now when I'm older, I have the patience to sit down and do all the rudiments and exercises I didn't want to do when I was younger. I just wanted to play 2112.
Okay.
I didn't want to sit down and learn all the boring jazz crap.
Ben, so did I. Geddy Lee is really hard, man.
Oh yeah. Any instrumentation from that trio is going to be like you walk on water, man.
Well, a couple of those songs are easy. Most of them are hard, but there's a few easy ones.
I first started getting the feel for playing the bass to Mick Fleetwood's playing on Rumors, on the Rumors album.
That's a great bass line, though. I mean,
It
that
is.
is an iconic bass line.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's like
really
the bass
simple
line.
and really, really effective. Yeah.
Well, the thing about bass is you don't want to make it too complicated, really. I
Right.
mean, the
Right.
best songs is just the bass sitting in,
Yeah.
just sitting as
Holding it
with
down.
the drums as the bass of the song, just holding the structure. Do, 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 do,
Mm-hmm.
do, do, do. And I mean, some of the best songs are like that. I mean, listen to the Animals. There's a house.
Oh yeah.
House of the Rising Sun. Listen to that
Yeah.
bass line. It's just doom 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 doom. I mean, it's arpeggios, but it's cool
Right.
though. But it's just he just sits there. It just sits there, and he's just the bass for the guitars.
Right on.
I mean, any bass song you listen to, the bass has got to be there, or it
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Right.
And those are three chord songs. 90%
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. And it's amazing what a bass can do with some of those 3-chord songs.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
That's why I love
it's
playing
always
it.
amazed me the difference of when it's just me playing with one of my guitars or a couple of my guitarist friends, and when we have a bassist over. When you have a bassist over, it doesn't have a huge honking stack that likes to blow my hearing out, but it's still, it just really, the drums and bass are really sympathetic towards each other.
Well, I mean, it's the bass for every song. If the song sucks, it's usually because the bass or the drums suck in it.
Yeah, the rhythm section, yeah.
And you gotta have a solid rhythm section to have a band.
Yeah.
I love music. So,
And it was one of my favorite songs.
hey, when I was growing up, it's the only thing I had.
Yeah.
Right
Music.
on.
So, and I didn't get my first bass until I was like 19.
Wow.
I mean, my parents didn't buy it. I mean, I had maybe 2 lessons. Everything else I learned on my own.
Right on. Nice.
So if anyone ever wants to learn how to play the bass, I will teach you how to play for free.
Okay.
I might take you up on it.
That's so nice.
Hey, I want to learn how to teach. So you got to be able to teach people to learn how to teach. So.
But once you have the feel for what it is that you already know, I can tell you right now, Matrix, it's really easy. I did vocal teaching for a while. I trained for 10 years.
Right on.
I taught for 6 years.
Really?
I trained operetta and music theater. It was when I was in foster care. I did Canadian Idol. I made it through the 2 sets of producers. I didn't make it to the celebrity judges because they told me my voice was too contemporary at the time. Now, 15 years of smoking later, I've got a little bit more of that rasp to it that they were probably looking for then. But, you know.
Oh my gosh.
She's on
so
Spotify,
cool.
you guys.
Hey, Plant.
I am on Spotify. I Ghost wrote an album with a friend, and that album, Street Value, Main Event, it's a Canadian native artist. Oh my God, why is the song just not coming to my head right now? I'll put it in the Facebook group. But that whole album, Street Value, I helped ghostwrite, and then I will put the exact track, and the female voice in that is me, and it's 11 layers of my voice to make that sound.
Amazing. Wow. It's amazing, you guys, for real.
Hey, Plant, if you ever write a song, and you want to produce it, let me know. I can record you.
I will.
I will come to.
You know
I
what?
will come to
Got me
Canada
on this
with my. I got 2 guitars. I got a bass. I got amps to go with all of it, and I got an 8-track recorder, and I got a drum machine. I got mics to record you. So, and I know how to do old school recording stuff. So.
Oh, the old school stuff always sounds so much better to me.
Well, I like to layer. I like to layer voices. I like to layer guitars. So.
Yeah.
But I I want to produce people, so I mean, I'll do it for you for free. You just
Well,
gotta mark
just
out
need to
the
get you to
time for
Canada.
it. Yeah, well, I gotta get it. I gotta get a passport, and I'm working on that. So once I
Perfect.
get the passport, we'll talk.
Perfect.
No, I'm
Awesome.
serious.
Is he's
Oh no,
curious?
no, that's awesome.
He's curious who the artist is? Which part of that part that you said was the artist name?
I put it in the chat. Main event,
Okay.
and then Street Value is the album.
Okay.
And actually, for this album, he was nominated for the Junos, Best Native Artist of the Year. Did not win, but he was nominated for Best Native Artist of the Year.
Right on.
Yeah.
And whoever
It was
told you
fun.
your voice is too contemporary, I'll make them eat their words.
Yeah. Now, in all fairness, I was training like I was 5 days a week training. 2 of those were music theater and 3 of those were operetta. So I was focused more on the technical than I was in the enjoying it at the time.
Yeah, but
I was
see, the
young.
thing about with the operatic is you have control over your voice that other people don't have.
Yeah.
Opera singers are the best singers in the world. I mean, they can sing opera or they can sing pop music. Doesn't matter. It's always going to sound good.
Yeah. So, and I also picked a really hard song and was super, super nervous for like my final one. So I learned my lesson, just go with ones that are a little bit easier and that I know. I've got individuals here who are like, try and do like, now there's that America's Got Talent, and apparently there's a Canada's Got Talent too now.
Mm-hmm.
So people are trying to push me to go do that now that they've heard me around the house singing. I've had my headphones in, knocking on my door, and they're just like, you didn't hear me like the first 4 times. You've got a great voice, but you did not hear me the first 4 times I knocked.
This time, when you go to sing for them, though, make sure you got your cat ears with you.
Yeah, they broke. I'll have to get it repaired.
You need the cat ear power. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do need cat ear power. It'd be perfect. Light up and everything.
Cute works.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
One of these days, I want to go on America's
Well.
Got Talent as a bass player, playing my bass stuff with no band, just me.
Right on.
Well, I can play classical music on my bass. So, like, have you ever heard Cliff Burton's bass? Have you ever heard Cliff Burton's bass solo on the first Metallica album? It's right before Whiplash. I can play that. I can play that up to. I can play it up to the fast part.
Okay.
The do 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 do. Yeah, it's a whole. Listen to it. I could play that whole thing up to the fast part, and even I could probably do the fast part if I thought about it. But yeah, no, but I can play all kind of classical stuff on my bass. So nobody does that except for and a couple other people.
Right on. Well,
I don't know. I
get
just
a
want to do
little
something
bit
different.
I get a little bit of a window with my husband before he starts his 32-hour shift.
Well, you go worry about that, and then you're gonna have to worry about the barn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Now seems like a good time for me to pop off. So it was a pleasure. Always a pleasure seeing y'all. I'll hopefully see you soon.
Yes, thank you for popping in.
Yes, thank you so much.
Hey, Plate, you saw this about Pat Benatar, right? That she was an opera singer before she was a pop singer?
I did. I knew.
That's
I
true.
actually knew that somehow. Right on.
There we go. I found the song name and the link there, guys. I threw it in the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well,
that's amazing.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
I'm out for the night too. Enjoy that time with Steve. Good night, Crystal. Good night, Ben.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Love y'all.
Good night.
Try to be
Love you too. Nah, Behaving is overrated.
Well,
Stir up some good trouble, like the man says.
how's the farm doing?
Farm seems fairly calm today,
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're.
which is pretty surprising with around all this eclipse stuff, because I've had little crazy little things happen. I had a neighbor pull up the other day, yesterday it was, and tell me that the dog had a goat's leg in its mouth, chasing it, and had a goat's leg in its mouth. And he doesn't do that. It's just been a weird thing that he just started doing. And so, yeah.
Well,
So hopefully everything stays calm for the rest of the day. That would be nice.
when next time Sasquatch pulls up, they can steal his lunch money again and chase him off. And
Indeed.
But I hope.
Yeah, he.
Oh, go ahead.
If he pops back in around here, he's probably has amnesia.
I hope everything's nice and zen, and I hope you have an awesome.
Thank you. I hope so too. I could use a zen.
You take care. Have a great day.
You too, Ben. Thanks, you guys. Wonderful meeting. Thank you for being part of it. I love this group. You guys are awesome, and I hope to see you again next meeting. And until then, peace, y'all.